So hello and welcome to Storytime this week, and this week we're going to be reading Lucy and Tom by Shirley Hughes. So Shirley Hughes is an author and illustrator and has done quite a few stories, which for most people she should be fairly familiar in that some of her other titles like Alfie, Duggan, very popular, very family orientated. They're just really lovely little books to read. This one in particular, Lucy and Tom, this particular copy was printed this year, but the original story was first published in 1976. So the artwork is very much of the period and style, but I quite like it. It's very there's just something very charming about this particular style and the work that she's done, and there's some great details throughout the pages which we'll touch on as we go into the story, which I hope that you'll enjoy. I think for most people there are definitely elements throughout all of Shirley Hughes's work where it's very familiar, it's very relatable, and that you can really enjoy it. So let's, on this miserable day that we're reading this, the weather's very not good for August time, but let's imagine that we're at the seaside with Lucy and Tom, and hopefully the little sunshine that's in the book can bring a little bit of sunshine to your day. So this is Shirley Hughes, Lucy and Tom at the seaside. One hot day, Lucy and Tom and their mum and dad thought they would go to the seaside. Lucy is helping to pack up the picnic. There are sandwiches and hard-boiled eggs, apples, biscuits, and a bottle of orange squash. There is also a lovely chocolate cake. Tom goes off to find the buckets and spades in the sandpit. They go to the seaside in the train. Tom keeps asking when they're going to get to the sea. Lucy wears her armbands on the train so as to be ready for the swimming when they get there. At last they've arrived. They walk down a rather long road carrying all the picnic things and bathing bags and buckets and spades. There's a very special seasidey smell. And there's the sea. It's much bigger than either Lucy or Tom had ever remembered. They run straight down to where the waves are, and coming up on the wet sand, and they walk along the edge. There are a lot of other children on the beach, as well as mothers and fathers, and babies and grannies, and people paddling, and dogs who dash in and out of the water barking excitedly at seagulls. Lucy and Tom want to swim right away, so they put on their bathing suits and go into the sea. Hand in hand, Lucy and Dad do some swimming. The sea is much rougher and splashier than the swimming pool near home. It's harder to swim in, but much more fun. Tom likes being chased by the waves. After the swim, Mum helps everyone to rub dry and they play a running about game to get warm. They settle down to their picnic. Several wasps try to join in. The tide is coming in. Dad helps Lucy and Tom to make a beautiful sandcastle. It has turrets covered in shells and stones, a moat and a tunnel, going right through the middle and coming out the other side. Slowly, the moat fills up with water, then the tunnel. Soon, only the top turret is left, then nothing at all. A lot of interesting things are happening on the beach. There are people flying kites and playing cricket and ball games. 2 little girls are burying their father's legs in sand so that only his toes are sticking out. Some people are trying to get in or out of their bathing suits under towels, which is very difficult. Lucy and Tom play in a rock pool. Lucy finds lots of different kinds of seaweed and some shells which she puts into her bucket. Tom finds some stones and a crab's claw. Lucy makes a face in the sand. It has stones for eyes, a row of little shells for teeth, and a lot of seaweedy hair. Mum helps Tom make a speedboat pointing right out to sea. Further up the beach, there are some donkeys. Lucy and Tom ask if they can have a ride. Lucy's donkey is grey with white legs. His name, Pepsi, is written on his harness. Tom's donkey is brown and is called Cola. It's nearly time to go home. Mum is packing up the picnic things. There's just time for a last ice cream. Lucy writes her name in very big letters in the wet sand. Then she writes Tom's name too. It's been a lovely day. There's a picture there, you can see their names. And that's the end. And that was Lucy and Tom at the seaside in their big day. A picture that you guys didn't see at the beginning was the opening page, which is actually the beach. So I didn't want to give the beach away too soon. There's a lovely large picture of the beach there. I think what's really lovely about this book is the detail in the illustrations, which you really have to kind of like spend some time kind of looking into the background, and like looking out for little key features. Obviously the front panoramic of the book, of the beach, sorry, has all the main elements, but what was quite nice was one that, and you guys might have spotted it, but there's a nice picture here where they take Lucy and Tom swimming. And if you look very closely, just above my finger, you'll see the donkeys. Which I think is just so cute that they're there the whole time. What's really lovely about this book, despite obviously being written in a certain period, is that it's very timeless. It's really lovely to see that the art style of the pictures is very very basic and very generic. You know, you go to the beach tomorrow and you'll still see you know, parents in jeans and t-shirts with little ones in their little swimming costumes with hoodies on and things like that. So it could be any time. It's just such a lovely little story. So I hope that you really enjoyed spending a little bit of time at the beach, even if the weather isn't very good outside your window. But hopefully that brought back some memories, or will inspire you to go to the beach and create some. As I say, this book is actually new to my collection, so I didn't rehome it, but because of its age, there is definitely copies out there that you can rehome, and I urge everybody to always rehome a book where possible. So thank you for taking the time this afternoon to read a little story with us. We hope you enjoyed it. So thank you for coming, and we'll see you at the next story time. So it's bye from me, and bye from Pooh Bear. Say bye, Pooh Bear. I'm gonna sit up here. Bye.